Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and here we talk about simple living on a budget. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 money mistakes that I have made prior to my debt-free journey. So the biggest mistake is the one that got me into debt actually, and it was going out of state for college. I've always wanted to be an engineer and there are plenty of good local engineering schools that I could have attended. However, I did decide to go out of state to a school which I loved and had a blast at. However, there is a lot of remorse for that situation because I did not need to spend $166,000 on a bachelor degree for industrial engineering. However, I have gotten good jobs and I am able to live at home now, so it's not as bad as it could be, but it's definitely not a good situation, and that is not something I would recommend doing. So avoid student loans at all costs, but that is hands down the biggest money mistake that I've ever made. The next money mistake that I have made was paying too much for housing. So after I graduated college, I felt that I was making a lot of money and that I could afford to live where I wanted to live, so I picked a beautiful apartment. It was an older style apartment and it was about 10 minutes from the beach and it was absolutely wonderful. I loved living there. However, looking at the cost of that apartment relative to my take-home pay, I was spending way too much money on my housing. It was well over 25%. It was probably closer to 30% of my take-home pay that I was spending, and it was just expensive and it really hurt me because I wasn't able to put extra money toward debt. I was definitely living fine. I could afford food and the basic necessities, but I couldn't afford to put extra money toward my debt every month except for maybe $100. And so this was prior to Dave Ramsey, and I was contributing to a 401k at the time, which also did not help my situation. But all in all, that was definitely something that really hurt my chances at paying off debt at a younger age because I was spending so much money on housing. The third mistake that I have made is trying to do it all, trying to go to all the functions and go on all the vacations and go out with all the friends all the time. I lived in a very social area. The coastal area where I lived at, they always had things going on, festivals, events, and I had a very social group of friends down there and we did a lot of activities. And looking back, I definitely spent a lot of money on these activities, or we would go do things. Even just going out for the day could easily cost well over $100, and that just adds up. There's nothing wrong with saying no. I just chose not to say no at the time, and that's a huge money mistake that I made. The next mistake that I have made is by far spending way too much money on clothes and other material things that I just did not need. I felt like once I got my first professional job that I needed a whole new wardrobe, and I definitely did need some clothes to go to work and be appropriate in that setting, but I did not need as much as I bought. I definitely had a ton of clothes and it just was not necessary. And then even like furnishing a house was expensive. I got what I wanted because I felt like I could afford it because I was making what I felt was a lot of money at the time, but that really wasn't the case, and I did spend a lot of money on clothing and other material items that I felt like I needed. The final money mistake that I'm going to share with you guys today is that I would try to listen to the advice of other people. I am an engineer and I work with a ton of engineers and they always seem to offer their advice. Most people have relatively similar advice, but it doesn't always match with Dave Ramsey's plan, and I chose to follow the Dave Ramsey plan because he has a really high success rate and I need to get out of debt as fast as possible, and he has such a proven plan to do that. And listening to other people at work definitely can kind of sway your opinion. I work in the automotive industry, so people are always talking about the latest car, you should lease a car, you should do this, you should contribute to your 401k even if you have debt. I'm going to follow the plan that Dave Ramsey has set out, and it doesn't matter what other advice people have. There's nothing wrong with hearing what they have to say, but actually listening it is something that I'm probably not going to be interested in until after I'm finished with my baby step 3 and I'm looking at different investment tools out there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of 5 money mistakes. Let me know if you've made any of these mistakes or if you've made other money mistakes that you want to share, because nobody is perfect in this space, but it is important to talk about mistakes so we can all learn from them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.